Thank you for tuning in to this show. I'm your host, CP. And today's topic, protecting our borders. Take back America. How dare you want to protect your borders? Sarcasm. Yes, yes. There is some sarcasm. There is some sarcasm in this situation of topic, right? Because there are people who actually think that within Americanism that are not supposed to be able to protect their borders, right? Supposed to be open borders, open season borders, no matter what. People come over, no matter what. Don't matter if they criminality, scammer, going to scam, going to do criminality, right? Going to sit there and grab up taxpayers' money. Don't matter if they're going to lie. Don't matter if they're going to steal. It don't matter. Don't matter if they're going to regurgitate the same old mantra, right? To sit there and say what they're going to say. Well, we're trying to escape political violence. We're trying to escape this and all that. We kind of like as if America doesn't have its own many type problems going on, right? Right? But at the same time, isn't it interesting because how many numbers of same type personnel, right? That knowing that they wouldn't want American citizens. I'm not talking about somebody just popped over here just recently, right? Or just became natural citizens just recently. We're not going to play that. No, we're talking about American citizens that's been in America for centuries, right? And there's only really three main cultures that's been in America for centuries, more than anybody else. What we call white, what we call Native Americans, and what we call Black Americans, right? Those are only three major personnel that's been in this country, USA, for centuries, right? So within that mix, and we're not talking about, oh, I don't want to go into all that. So the thing about it is, you best believe that however numbers of politicalness, however numbers of open border organizations, entities, etc., right, that want pro borders open, right, and the ones that have flee from their own different homeland, etc., right? Why certain other people, certain other racial groups within America can't just get up and flee, right? You best believe various other cultures and backgrounds that have fled to America. And I'm not talking about some of the good ones that situations happen. I got it. But America is not the open pot for everybody to keep trying to go to. Why you still got all kind of problems going in America? That is insulting because the same people that be like, oh, we got to have open borders. We got to have more immigration stuff like that. Those are Biden type people, right? They trying to get the freebies and resources, right? But you best believe they wouldn't want centuries of American citizens to go to their original country and start taking over. You see how that goes, right? So they really do think American citizens that's been in this country for centuries, right? They really think that they are stupid, right? Nothing. I know nothing. See, that's what they want to play when you start speaking that kind of truth a little bit. So in this situation, there's a document that came out early part of this year relating to, and make sure you can see this. Again, this is going to be a real quick show. Make sure you can see this. Talks about, it's called Operation Take Back America, right? Make sure you can see that. Give me a second here. Go back here. Once I want to check something here, check my volume and everything. Okay. So as you can see, it says, make sure, give me a moment. I want to double check something. Okay. All right. It talks about Operation Take Back America. This was on March 6, 2025 from the Department of Justice. Subject, again, Operation Take Back America. It's not a long document. It says about 3 pages. I'm not going to read the whole entire thing. I'm just going to kind of scan through in this situation. But it talks about how since January 20, 2025, the Justice Department has taken numerous steps to empower prosecutors, and law enforcement operating in districts around the country to protect their communities from the ongoing threats and risks that the American people elected President Trump to address. The Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force and the Project Safe Neighborhood program have long been central to these type of efforts in the field. This memorandum established a single initiative called Operation Take Back America that will use this acronym that you at earlier. You hear me talk about what the acronym stand for, and this acronym PSN stands for resources to implement core policy objectives established by President Trump and the Attorney General, repelling the invasions of illegal immigration type personnel. Oh, some people don't like that, right? Oh, they want open borders and illegal immigrant type personnel and immigration type personnel that's coming over here for their own benefit, not the American benefit, right? Oh, you best believe it goes on so many different directions of these type of tactics. Executive Order 14159, entitled protecting the American people against invasion, describes the invasion of criminal aliens under the previous administration, and you can keep going back before that. Those aliens present present significant threats to national security and public safety, and frauds. And the list goes on. And other criminalities. Committing vile and heinous acts against innocent Americans, and have engaged in hostile activities, including espionage, economic espionage, and preparation for terror-related activities. Achieving total elimination of cartels and transnational criminal organizations. Executive Order 14157, entitled designating cartels and other organizations as foreign terrorist organizations, and specially designated global terrorist, directs the government to ensure the total elimination of cartels and TCOs from the United States. Established Homeland Security Task Force. I'm not going to read all that. Well, let me read this part. These task forces will work to end the presence of criminal cartels, foreign gangs, and transnational criminal organizations throughout the United States. Dismantle cross-border human smuggling and trafficking networks, and end the scourge of human smuggling and trafficking. Charging the most serious, readily provable offense. Again, I'm not reading all this. I'm just going to read this part here. The memorandum noted the department's focus on illegal immigration, human trafficking and smuggling, and crimes by cartels, TCOs such as Tren de Aqua and Mara Supper, MS-13 people, including through Joint Task Forces Alpha and Vulcan. Restoring the unalivenment penalty. Executive Order 14164, entitled Restoring the Unalivenment Penalty and Protecting Public Safety. Restore the unalivenment penalty as an essential tool for deterring and punishing those who will commit the most heinous crimes and acts of lethal violence against American citizens, with particular emphasis on capital crimes by illegal aliens and against law enforcement. Creation of Operation Take Back America. Operation Take Back America requires the acronym that I read about earlier, or what it stands for: surge existing resources to address the Justice Department's core enforcement priorities, stopping illegal immigration, eliminating cartels and TCOs, and ending illegal trafficking in dangerous drugs and human beings. The performance of Operation Take Back America will be measured in part by the ability of that particular acronym. I already read earlier what that stands for. Personnel to use criminal justice tools and resources to help with the removal of criminal aliens and to support other aspects of President Trump's immigration agenda. I'm not going to keep reading the whole thing on that part. All, you got that acronym again that I read earlier, what that stands for. Funded personnel, another acronym again. Strike forces must contribute to Operation Take Back America, whatever that acronym I read earlier. What it stands for. Funded AUSAs must devote a significant number of their weekly hours to the operation and report those hours for tracking purposes. I'm not going to read that part. Operation Take Back America supporting Homeland Task Forces. Operation Take Back America will support the Homeland Security Task Force established in Executive Order 14159, entitled Protecting the American People Against Invasion. Each, the acronym I've already talked about earlier, regional director and lead task force attorney will be assigned to the local Homeland Security Task Force. In addition, the acronym again, funded, the acronym again, will support that work on an as-needed basis. This is the last page. PSN, we've already talked about what that acronym stands for. Coordination with Operation Take Back America. AUSAs acting as PSN coordinators in their districts must fully participate in Operation Take Back America. This shall include coordination with that particular acronym to obtain support for federal PSN cases that focus on the operation priorities. PSN will also partner with federal, state, and local law enforcement to advance the operation by establishing protocols that ensure a rapid federal response to incidents within the operation's scope, including responding and investigating instances of obstruction and sanctuary jurisdictions that endanger the residents of those jurisdictions. So I'm not going to read no more of that. So just kind of want to go over that particular part of it. Let me go back to my main screen on that part. So again, see, this system wants open borders, right? They want people to be doing just like this.
Tense rivalry. After all, we all belong to the same race, the human race.
The ignorance of how that sound, right? You got people with major tribalism problems, major various parts of inter-country problems, inter-ethnic problems, various intra-racial problems, intra-prefecture, city. You get the point. Problems going on, right? This is not some utopia, but this is a nonsensical game that supremacists play upon people every darn day that don't use logical analysis, right? Let me sit there and show you something. Give me a moment. Let me share my screen. I'm almost about to finish this show. One moment here. Again, they want you to just not pay attention. This to look over stuff, like nothing's really going on. Like this. Make sure you can see this. All right. Act like you don't see what you see right here, right? Part of that eastern part of western part of California. On that left side, going to that particular part on the United States on the right side. But they want you to pretend that you really don't see what you really see, right? Right? And how many of them right there are previous border break illegal? Let me go back. How many of them are previous border breaker illegal immigrants, right? Which then becomes a felony, right? See how that goes, right? Oh, you best believe they don't want American citizens to go back across the other direction and say, oh my goodness, we're going to come across there and we're going to sit there and grab up all the different kind of resources and land, etc. over there. You know, there's already been people across that southern border that's pissed off about numbers of certain type of American citizens and how they're blaming them for price increases and being kicked out and stuff like that of various other places across the border, right? That, you know, however, landlords jacking up prices and business jacking up prices, and they're blaming certain type of American citizens for coming across that border. You see how that goes, right? But have no problem with people breaking immigration laws coming from Mexico, from whatever other places, and parts of Mexico coming to El Norte, taking over, right? Taking over, regurgitating the same kind of mantra, right? Getting freebies, all that kind of stuff. Oh, they ain't got a problem with that, right? See, again, they really do think numbers of people in America are real stupid to these tactics. One last thing I want to show on this. Give me one moment. Is this? Make sure you can see this. All right. Uh-oh. Let me get that out here. One moment. Go back here. All right.
We're seeing that these criminal legal aliens are exiting the jails and going back onto New York or Chicago or these other sanctuary streets to re-perpetuate their crimes. Today, in New York City's jails are 7,169 criminal illegal aliens. We're talking about hundreds of murderers, hundreds of sexual predators, drug traffickers, the worst of the worst. Dan Goldman and these other sanctuary city politicians, they should agree to hand over those individuals, honor those detainers, and then we won't have to flood the zone with our ICE law enforcement. We won't have to put those men and women on the ground because we will get these vicious criminals out of New York City's jails.
Right.
But again, you'll have personnel that see something like that and be doing this.
I know nothing. Nothing. I know nothing.
Yes, you see the insulting of that. And they'll play this particular tactic as well.
Tense rivalry. After all, we all belong to the same race, the human race.
Again, they really do think quite a number of American people are stupid. And there are some illogical ones, right? They don't even realize they're being used. But again, there are quite a number within Americanism that don't even realize that immigration, numbers of border break illegal immigrants, they're coming over to America to get the resources and to take over various areas. Oh, it's a definitely super agenda. I thank you for tuning in to this particular show topic. I am your host, CP.